Okay, let's dive into something that's really making waves online, a number.
A rather specific number.
Exactly. Imagine seeing one single unit of pi, the digital currency, listed with a value of $314,159.
Wow.
Yeah. And this isn't just, a random forum post. It's actually appearing inside an application.
Inside the Pi ecosystem itself.
That's what it seems.
Okay.
So today, our mission is really to unpack this. Where's this number coming from? What's the app? And what does it all really mean for Pi Network users?
Right. It's definitely causing a stir. And just to be clear on the claims we're seeing, the application shows one pi at that 314,159 USD figure.
Okay.
And then logically, two pi show up as $628,000 USD.
Makes sense mathematically, at least.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is it's not just US dollars. The app apparently shows conversions into other currencies. Think 848,000 Australian dollars,
Yeah.
about 578,000 Swiss francs. It even mentions Canadian dollars and Chinese yuan. So it's presenting this high value like consistently across the board.
That is quite something to see displayed like that. So, okay, if you're curious, how would you even find this? Where does this number pop up?
Well, you'd find it inside an app called PiNest, PAINEST.
PiNest. Okay.
And to get there, you need to use the Pi browser first.
Right, the dedicated browser for the ecosystem.
Exactly. So you open the Pi browser, navigate to the dApps section, that's decentralized apps,
Oh,
then specifically look for mainnet application.
yeah,
These are the apps meant for the live network.
got it.
And then you search for PiNest. So it's tucked away a bit. You have to know where to look.
Okay, so let's talk about PiNest itself. What is it? Is it something official from the PiCore team, or what's the story there?
No, not official. PiNest is an application that was apparently created by a founder,
Mm-hmm.
someone using the Pi Network's new AI application studio.
Ah, the AI studio. I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's pretty new. It basically lets users generate apps, websites, just by, describing what they want. The AI.
Kind of like a no-code thing, but for Pi apps?
Exactly. Makes building things much more accessible for people in the community. So PiNest comes from that initiative. It's community-driven.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting then. Why? Why build an app showing this astronomical value, especially if it's not official? What's the thinking behind it?
Well, the founder's goal seems pretty ambitious, actually. It looks like it's designed to actively encourage the idea,
Yeah.
maybe even demonstrate that the Pi Network's value will, in the future, hit this specific number.
$314,159, that exact number.
Yes, what they're calling the global consensus value, or GCV.
ACV, okay.
So the app isn't just displaying a number. It's sort of promoting this future vision. It's trying to build belief and, consensus around that target price.
So it's a promotional tool, really, trying to shape perception.
Pretty much. It aims to promote the whole Pi Network ecosystem by putting this really high target out there, making it visible now. And, it's definitely getting talked about a lot on social media because of it. It anchors that big number in people's minds.
Right, it creates buzz. But okay, beyond just showing the number, does PiNest propose to actually do anything? Like, are there features? What's the practical side, if any?
Yeah, it seems the founder has laid out some ideas for actual functionality, trying to build utility around that GCV price point.
Like what?
Well, first, there's this section for hotels. The idea is hotel owners could list their places, add photos, and basically accept Pi for bookings at that GCV rate.
Interesting. Use Pi for real-world services at that high value.
Exactly. Then, similarly, restaurants. Owners could list their restaurants. The source we saw, I mentioned an example in India, actually, again, supporting Pi transactions at the GCV.
Okay. Hotels, restaurants. What else?
There's also education platforms, so individuals could offer courses, video lessons, that sort of thing, and sell them for Pi. Again, priced according to the GCV.
And the goal there is?
Well, the stated goal is to encourage existing Pi users, pioneers, but also maybe attract new people by showing this potential utility and value. Expand the project.
Makes sense. Any other features mentioned?
There is one more section mentioned. Farming, though the source material was a bit unclear on the exact meaning there.
Farming, like crypto staking or yield farming.
Possibly. It often relates to mining or earning rewards in crypto, maybe by staking Pi or providing liquidity somehow. The details are fuzzy, but it points towards some kind of, value-generating activity within the PiNest ecosystem itself.
Okay, so PiNest isn't just a static display. It's trying to lay the groundwork for actual transactions and activities, all pegged to this very high GCV.
That seems to be the idea, yeah.
So what's the bigger play here then? How does the founder hope this app will, catch on?
Well, what's kind of fascinating is how it's trying to grab attention,
Yeah.
both from people already in the Pi network and people outside, by showing that huge number and then saying, look, here's how you could actually use it for hotels, for courses.
Right, connecting the aspirational value to potential real-world use.
Exactly. It's a way to generate buzz and sort of demonstrate what the future could look like, even if it's not there yet. Creates a strong pull.
But that brings up a really crucial point. For these services, booking hotels, buying courses to actually work widely at that GCV price, especially with, 60, 70 million Pi users potentially?
Yeah, that's the big hurdle.
What needs to happen for PiNest to go from just being this promotional concept to something people actually use at that price?
Right. For PiNest to be more than just this, well, speculative or promotional tool and become a platform people genuinely use for transactions at that GCV,
Yeah.
it would almost certainly need to be, verified, approved by the main Pi network founders.
Ah, okay. Official validation.
Yeah. Without that kind of official integration, its use at that super high value would likely stay, well, aspirational, limited to maybe a small group within the community who really believe in that specific GCV and agree to transact based on it.
So it remains kind of a community experiment unless it gets the official nod.
Pretty much. And, the person who made the video we looked at, they expressed hope that this high value does become real, tangible eventually, which raises a bigger question, doesn't it?
Which is,
How communities and developers actually try to influence and shape the perceived value of these new digital assets, sometimes way before they have clear market traction.
yeah, it's a really interesting case study in value creation, or maybe value perception creation, trying to will a value into existence through belief and tools like this.
It definitely blurs the lines. It's like trying to build the road while you're driving on it.
So just to sum up where we are, PiNest is this app built using Pi's own AI tools by a community member. It's not official.
Right.
Its main goal seems to be promoting this future target value for Pi, the $314,159 UCV, by showing it clearly and suggesting real-world uses like hotels, restaurants, education, all priced at that level.
A very distinct community-led effort to boost the perceived value and potential utility.
Okay, so thinking about this, what should you, our listener, take away from all this?
Well, I think it really highlights the role these kinds of community initiatives, even speculative tools like PiNest, can play, especially in the early days of a digital currency.
How so?
They really influence how value is perceived. Or they can potentially lay groundwork for future use, for adoption, just by getting people to imagine it and talk about it. It makes you think about how value gets built in this digital world.
It's not always just market forces and trading.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
suggests that, shared vision, community belief, these innovative, sometimes unusual ways developers try to bring a vision to life. They matter too.
So maybe the final thought here is, how much of any currency's value, especially a new one, is purely driven by the market? And how much is shaped by this kind of collective hope, this collective aspiration being actively promoted?
It's a fascinating question to ponder, especially as we watch ecosystems like Pi continue to evolve.